Keep tuning into your breath. With your inner eye, scan your entire body and check how you feel. If you hold any unnecessary tensions, if you do, start letting go of them. Visualize your spine. What shape does it take right now? Perhaps you can make some extra adjustments. Start noticing your breath more and more without changing it. Simply observe your body breathing and the quality of that breath. Bring in an attitude of openness and curiosity to your breath. Observe your inhales and exhales, and any sensations these two bring. Perhaps you can feel your breath in your nose, in your throat. Perhaps you can notice your chest rising as you breathe in, and then dropping a bit as you exhale. Check your belly. Check if you can find your breath there, expanding like a little ball, without limiting yourself. Just allowing your breath to take as much space as it needs. And then as you exhale, perhaps you can even hear your breath. That's just an extra sensation you can focus on. And the breath is coming in and coming out, taking you from moment to moment, like a handrail. Now become aware of the gap between your breaths. So as you inhale and you finish your inhale, pause for a second or two, holding your breath. And then as you exhale, let all the air leave your lungs. And then stop for a moment or two, again holding your breath. Just as long as it feels comfortable without forcing yourself too much. Just become aware of those gaps between your breaths. Perhaps extending your breath, taking more air in than you usually do. And then squeezing your lungs a bit as you exhale, to empty your lungs more than you usually do. So starting to control your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Deepening your breath each time. Allowing your breath to take you on a journey. Noticing that the more you focus on your breath, the less attention you can give to your thoughts. They just come and go, but you keep coming back to your breath. That's your handrail taking you from moment to moment. A few more moments staying with your breath. Perhaps extending it a bit more. And now counting from 1 to 4 as you inhale and 1 to 4 as you exhale. Counting from 1 to 4 each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. And you can imagine yourself counting, maybe visualize the numbers, or perhaps you can hear your inner voice as you count. Whatever it is that helps you. As always, it's okay to get distracted. That's the nature of our mind, to move from one thought to the other. But when you notice it's happening, just acknowledge it and come back to your breath and your counting from 1 to 4. At the same time, check your posture. Make sure it hasn't changed much. Your spine is nice, symmetrical, vertical to the ground. And your face is relaxed. You don't need any face expression at the moment. Unless you prefer to smile a little. Keep counting from 1 to 4. It will calm your mind, help you with the focus for the next 2 hours at least. And will oxygenate your body. Focusing on the sensations of bliss and peace. Inviting the energy in as well. And wherever you are, keep your eyes closed, but start with gentle movements, perhaps your fingers, your toes, maybe gently moving your spine or shoulders, coming back to your body, coming back to all your senses, and now rubbing your palms against each other to create some heat. And then cover your eyelids and open your eyes into your palms. And look into this dark space created by your palms. Maintaining your breath and posture awareness. Letting the eyes, the muscles of your eyes stretch. And then slide your palms down your face, little bit of massage. And let's start with stretches. Interlacing your fingers, stretching in front of you. Then taking those arms up, looking up, stretching here a few times. Perhaps synchronizing the movement with your breath. And then staying up, chin tucked in, look down. Elevate your spine, extend through the crown of your head, elevate your chest. And at the same time, try to stretch your spine down through your sacrum. Trying to reach the ceiling with your palms, opening your shoulders. Deep breaths in into your chest. Good. Now grab one of your wrists and just pull that arm towards one side. Doesn't matter which side you start with. Just make sure your sitting bones stay on the ground so you don't lift them unnecessarily. Just stretching from your hip, whole side of your torso, opening that shoulder. Deep breaths in. Look up, open that side of your chest. Direct your breath there into that one lung you are opening now. And when you are ready, switch sides. Open the other side of your torso. Again, perhaps looking up, directing your breath into the other lung. Good, release. Now interlace your fingers again. Again, stretch all the way up. And next time you exhale, lean to one side. Again, up to you which side you choose. Same rules here, you are stretching from your hip. Your sitting bones stay on the ground. So don't go too far. Nice deep breaths. Opening your chest as always. And when you are ready, switch sides. Maintaining your posture awareness, your breath awareness. These are your key things in our yoga practice. Good, and release. Now interlace your fingers behind you, opening your chest, perhaps lifting those palms off the mat if you can, taking them away from the spine as long as your palms are together. So don't splay your palms together. This will protect your shoulders. And now let's do a couple of head rolls. Slowly, mindfully preparing your neck for the upcoming practice. 2-3 times each direction. Great, release your arms. And we are going to do Brahma Mudra, which we've done already, I think, 2 classes before. Simply drawing a crescent moon shape with the chin to sides. Right, so not just taking that head to the side, but just actually lifting this chin up as much as you can and then bringing this to your shoulder one at a time. And as we go outside, we're gonna exhale and inhale as we come back to the center. At the same time, making sound wow, but whispering. So I will demonstrate if you haven't done it before, taking deep breath in before you go, and then so it's wow as you go out and you come in. So start when you are ready. Taking nice deep breath in and then exhaling to the side. In this exercise, you want to focus on your neck and how lovely it stretches and maybe squeezes out unnecessary mucus you might have in your neck. And you don't have to make a sound if it's uncomfortable, but as long as you truly open your mouth, that actually helps with that stretch. Good. Really tucking this chin in as you finish. Last round. Great. Okay, and now let's do a bit of Bhastrika breathing. Again, we've done it last time. Basically, it will be a pumping movement on your stomach. You can even put your hand on your stomach, few fingers length above your navel. So you're gonna do pumping action. Obviously, as you squeeze, you exhale, and as you expand, you inhale. I will demonstrate. This is quite an energetic movement. You should be able to hear it. Hear your breath. Start when you are ready, about 20 times. Taking nice deep breath in and pumping. Exhale, 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 and hold your breath out. And inhale when you feel ready. Some of you might need a tissue. This exercise really helps with cleansing your nostrils. So breathing will be easier. Now we'll do that again, but this time holding one nostril closed. I recommend to use your thumb to close the right nostril. But before you do, take a nice deep breath in through both nostrils, and then on the exhale start pumping about 20 times. Exhale, 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 hold your breath out. And inhale when you feel ready. Good. Okay, and time for the other nostril. You can use the other thumb or just different finger of the same palm. Take a lovely deep breath in through both nostrils and then cover your left nostril and do pumping movements with your stomach. Exhale, 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 and then hold. As long as it's comfortable to hold. And then start breathing again when you feel ready. Again, use a tissue if you have to. You can notice it really helps with cleansing the airways. And we'll do the last one, alternate nostril breathing, so one nostril at a time. So here you will just need one palm, and usually in yoga we use thumb and ring finger by bending the other fingers in between. So switching sides. Again, to start, take a lovely deep breath in and start by covering the right nostril and then switching sides. So here you exhale, inhale one side and then exhale, inhale the other side. Nice dynamic movement, pumping action with your stomach. Perhaps you can go faster. Keep going, keep going. And last round, you'll be exhaling through the left nostril. Exhale, exhale through the left nostril and then hold your breath. Hold for a couple of moments. Perhaps tuck your chin in to really lock your lungs. And release. Great. And the very last, Kriya. Kriyas are a very important part of the practice. We will massage our sinuses. So take a lovely deep breath in, very long, long deep breath in. And as you do, just massage your sinuses to the sides. So going from the nose out to your temples. Every time you inhale. Inviting more air in. Great. Release. Perfect. Okay, let's move on to our mats. We will start today laying down. So lay down on your mats comfortably and we'll do a full body stretch. So take your arms over your head and stretch through your fingers, through your toes, creating extra space, extra length. Good, couple of breaths here. And when you are ready, release your arms. They can stay over your head or by your sides, up to you. Inhale, rise one leg up and stay with this leg up. Ideally straight, vertical, but doesn't have to be. Starting with gentle stretches here, becoming aware of your hamstrings. They might feel quite tight. We will work with that today. But in this position, I invite you to focus on your lower back and check where your lower back is. Ideally, your lower back is flat on the mat. If it's not, if there is a curve, an arch, squeeze, press with your lower back down. Press with your lower back down the mat. Maybe lift that leg a bit higher, a bit closer towards your chest to make it easier. And release. And switch legs, the other leg up. Take a few breaths there into your hamstrings, which might feel tight again. And then find your lower back. Find the connection it makes with the floor. And if it doesn't, then press it down. Good, and release. Now bend both legs as if you are going into bridge. And try to bring your arms by your sides in a way that you can reach your heels. So your fingertips are reaching your heels. You can place your palms on your belly now if you like, making sure your lower back is nice and flat on the mat. You might have to lift your pelvis up to do that. And actually that's a gentle movement we will start with. So as you inhale, press with your lower back down. As you exhale, create that arch, natural arch in your spine. So inhaling, lifting your pelvis up a bit and pressing your lower back down. Exhaling, the opposite. It's almost like cat flexion and extension we usually do on all fours, but this time we do a similar movement, micro movement with your spine while laying down. So building that lower back awareness. As I said, one of the themes of today's class is working with lower back issues. So those poses will really help you. And if you struggle with any issues or may have, I'm sure you will feel benefits. Okay, a few more moments. Good. Now extend your arms to the sides so you look like a shape of letter T and bring your knees by your chest. When you are ready, on the exhale, drop your knees to one side so that they come all the way to the floor. And as you inhale, come back to the center and drop them to the other side. Going with your breath, so you drop them as you exhale, lift them as you inhale. Trying to keep your thighs close to your chest, then you will benefit more from that twist. Preparing your spine for all the twists that are yet to come. And at the same time, notice you are massaging your back with the floor. Last round, finish on the left and then come back to the center. Bring your feet down as if you are going into bridge. And now place one leg on top of the other, as if you are sitting on a chair. So one thigh on top of the other. Good. And now we will drop to one side. So if it's your right leg on top, then drop to your left. and the other way around if it's the other leg. So you are dropping into the same side your top leg is. So if it's your right leg on top, then drop to your right. And notice you are stretching your hip, your thigh. If you want, you can even place your palm on that hip that raised. Yeah, nothing really happens here, just gravity is helping with a gentle stretch. Stay with your breath. And as you inhale, next time lift your legs again and switch sides. So now the other leg, the other thigh is on top of the leg and drop to the other side as you exhale. If you want, you can switch your palms, now pressing down with the other palm on your hip. Remaining aware of your lower back as well. Deep breaths. Good. And when you are ready, come back. Again, both feet flat. And we'll do a classic pose for lower back again. We've done it a few times. This time you have to press one ankle. Let's start maybe with the right ankle, it will be easier to explain. Right ankle is on top of the left thigh, pressing against it away from your body. Now lift the left foot up, so your left shin is parallel to the floor. And now grab your left thigh, interlace your fingers at the back of the left thigh. Good. And now try to pull that left knee towards your left armpit or shoulder, while the right knee is pressing against. So basically there is no movement, but there's lots of action going on. Your muscles are tense, especially of your legs, especially that right leg trying to press against the left leg. Maybe taking this right knee out a bit as you press. Stay with your breath and stay with your lower back. Feel it on the mat. Build that lower back awareness. Keep going with your opposite actions of pulling one leg and pressing with the other. And release when you feel ready. Let's switch sides. Now, left ankle will go on top of the right thigh. Lift right foot up so that you can grab the right thigh, perhaps interlacing your fingers at the back. And again, pulling that right thigh towards your right shoulder and pressing against that leg with the left leg. Left thigh, left knee especially. So you can feel that knee going out a bit, almost as if you are opening that hip. Good, staying here for a few moments with your breath and your lower back. Lower back flat on the mat. Probably just one side of your lower back rather than both of them this time. Lovely. And release when you are ready. Again, take a lovely full body stretch. Arms over your shoulders. Stretch your toes and fingers. And then hug your knees by your chest. Wrap yourself like a little ball. Double knee hug. You can even place your nose between your knees. And then bring your head down and rock from side to side. And now rock forward backwards. Exaggerating the movement so that maybe you can even come with your legs up, lifting your hips. So rolling your back on the mat, back and front. Perhaps going over with that legs and then coming to cross-leg sitting. Let's do this a couple of times. Rolling on the mat with your legs over your face and then coming to sitting. As long as it feels alright on your spine and neck. Good. Massaging your back with the floor. Hopefully your mat is soft enough. A few more times. And when you have enough, just move into sitting. We will stay cross-leg sitting for a moment. Okay, let's do first rotations of the spine. So as you are sitting cross-leg with your palms on your knees, rotating your spine in one direction, going as deep as you like. It doesn't matter where your sitting bones are, whether they stay connected with the ground or not. But try to synchronize this movement with your breath. So inhaling as you lean forward and then exhaling as you lean back. And perhaps minimizing this movement, so eventually in a couple of breaths you will come back to sitting still. So minimizing the range of that movement here. Nice. And if you already got steady, then change directions. Really going really deep into these rotations. Building this spine awareness. Synchronize the movement with your breath, even if you are reducing the range of the movement at this point. Okay, now we will stretch our groins. So to do that, look down and bring your feet, as you are in cross-leg sitting, maybe push them away a little bit. So as you look down, you have kind of triangle shape. Now inhale, take your arms up and start bending forwards from your hips. So not from your waist. If you bend from your waist, you will bend your spine. If you bend from your hips, you maintain nice straight back. Bring your palms first if your upper body feels a bit too heavy, and then start stretching more and more by walking your fingers away from your body. Checking how far can you go with that stretch. At the same time, maintaining a relaxed body, your groins, your thighs, your ankles, everything here is relaxed so that you can go really deep into the stretch. Maybe tucking your chin in, looking down towards the floor in front of you or under you at this point. Inhaling into your groins, releasing any tensions you may find into the floor. And then walking your palms back so you can rise up. And now walk to one of the sides. So it's the same forward bend, but on one of the sides. So this time you will feel a very different stretch in your back, especially one side. Again, feel free to go as deep as you can by walking your fingers away, perhaps each time you exhale. Trying to stay with those sitting bones down on the ground. But don't worry if that's not possible for you. Lovely deep breaths. Just because you are bending forward doesn't mean you can limit your breathing. Good. And again, coming out, going to the other side. Really staying with your spine, your back awareness, inhaling into anything you are stretching right now. Check, what do you feel? What are you stretching? It definitely must be your back from the hip. Last breath there, and then coming out when you feel ready. Releasing those legs so that we can warm them up more as well, maybe massaging your knees, giving them a bit of massage, creating heat. Now with your one palm, grab the big toe of the same leg. So let's say right arm, right leg, or left arm, left leg, up to you. And let's bend that leg a few times, synchronizing with the breath, inhaling, stretching, exhaling, bending. Opening your chest, maybe using the other arm for support behind you. Opening that chest, opening your heart. Good. And when you feel warmed up enough here, stay with that leg extended. Don't worry if you have a shorter arm than me and you can't do it. You can always hold your shin or just stay with your leg bent. Lovely deep breath in here into your right leg. Good. And now bend the knee and hug that leg in front of you. So you can hold the knee and foot with your palms. Or if you have this degree of flexibility, really hug that shin as if you are holding a baby. And now rock from side to side. If you don't feel the stretch, lift that foot higher and make sure it's vertical to the ground, keeping your chest open. Hopefully you can feel it. Nice warm up on the hip. Rocking from side to side, maybe going deeper. Left and right. Nice. And release. Swap legs. Grab the big toe of the other leg. Same arm. Stretching a few times. Synchronizing with your breath. Maintaining eye contact with your big toe to remain connected with your body. It's easy to drift away with our thoughts. So I find it really helps to just look at our body as you exercise and imagine breathing into it. Then stay in the stretch. Deepening your breath, directing your breath into your hamstring, opening the back of that knee. Okay, and bending that leg so that you can hug it. Again, you can use palms, or if you are more flexible, use your elbow, inner elbow, maybe that's the name. And rock it from side to side, maybe interlacing your fingers or just placing them on your shin and calf. Rocking like a baby, maybe lifting that foot higher, opening your chest. Great, and release. And now nice and wide legs. So we'll prepare for forward bends. And we'll start with rotations, and I find it really helps if you extend your arms in front of you, palms together, maybe interlacing your fingers. And perhaps imagine you have like a massive pot of porridge for your breakfast and mixing that. Nice. Change the direction, really deepen that stretch as you bend forward, going full circles with your arms. Nice. And when you are done, come back to neutral. Bring your legs together so they're nice and straight in front of you. Staff pose, palms by your hips. Open your chest, roll your shoulders back. Feet are active and vertical to the mat. Activate your thighs, activate your core. Stay nice and straight. 90 degrees angle between your upper and lower body. Maybe press down with your legs. So that's stage one, the easiest option. Especially if you are new, that's good for you. If you want to go deeper, hover with your palms over the floor, maintaining the same posture. Or the last, most challenging stage, take your arms over your head. Open that chest even more, straight back. Strong thighs, keep breathing. Look towards your big toes. Nice acute angle. Maybe increase that angle even more, but opening your chest even more. Extending your spine through the crown of your head. Good, and release. Give your legs a bit of shake. And extend those arms in front of you, and let's kind of rock forward, backwards, preparing for a forward bend. So gently going forward and then back, deeper each time. Exhaling, bending forward, inhaling, leaning back. And eventually you will be able to reach your feet. If you can't reach your feet, hopefully you have a belt or strap. I have one here to demonstrate. Simply wrap your feet with the strap so that you can stay in a forward bend. Cool. Take a nice deep breath in, open your chest, and as you exhale, deepen your stretch, splay your elbows out, and try to bring not just your face but also your chest towards your thighs, knees, maybe even shins. So bending from your hips. As I explained earlier, if you bend from your waist, you lose that straight back. And make sure you don't hide your neck in your shoulders. Shoulders are away from your ears. Good. Staying here for a few more breaths, but going deeper in your stretch as you exhale. Splaying those elbows out more. Don't worry, you don't have to hold your feet if you can't. If you don't have a strap, just hold your shins. Last exhale, deepen your stretch and release. Now take one leg, let's start with right leg, bend the right knee and place your right foot by your groin. Now square hips, inhale, arms up, lean towards the left leg with nice hips vertical to that leg. Stay here for a few moments, bringing face and chest towards your front leg. A different kind of stretch. This time you can focus more on your leg and less on your back. In those forward bends, if you really struggle, if you have really tight hamstrings, you don't have a belt, it's always more important to bend your leg than to bend your knees, than to bend your back. So if you have to compromise, bend your leg and not your back. Back should remain straight. And go deeper as you exhale. Perhaps you can feel the stretch at this point from the other hip. Nice. And when you release, let's go into counter pose. Place your palms behind you, fingers pointing forwards. Point the toes and inhale, lift your hips up. Both feet down with a contact with the floor. Drop your head if your neck is happy, or just look at the front of your body or towards the ceiling, up to you. Whichever you choose for your neck, lift your pelvis, push your hips away from your body, from the floor. Good. And release, switch sides. So bend the other leg, bring the left foot by the groin. Take a nice deep breath in, arms up. With square hips, bend towards your right leg. By square hips, I simply mean they're in natural position, parallel towards that, parallel and vertical towards that leg you are bending towards to. Maintain your back awareness. Remember, we are bringing not just face, but also chest towards that leg. This way we can maintain proper alignment. Staying here for a few breaths, opening that knee, the back of that front knee. Directing your breath into anything that is feeling tight right now. Accepting the stretch. Surprisingly, not everyone likes stretching. So you have to kind of convince yourself you like it, that you love it, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable. Good. And release. Let's move into counter pose. So palms behind you, point your toes. Inhale, hips up. Take them as far from the floor as you can. 3 options from your neck. Look towards the front, up, or drop your head. Keep breathing, opening the front of your body. And when you are ready, release. Maybe shake those legs. And now let's move on to our feet. We'll do a simple warm-up on the feet, which I think climbers may appreciate it a lot. I will show you, it's a couple of movements here, really, rocking forward and backwards on those feet in squat, but eventually rising with your hips. So join me when you feel ready. You can, if you struggle with balance, hold the floor, but otherwise, maybe palms on your hips. Rising onto your knees in front. You don't have to touch the floor with your bum. It can just float over the floor. Good. A few more times. Probably you can feel it on your shins. Quite a few muscles are warming up here as well. Good. And when you are done, move on into cat, all fours. Arms, legs vertical to the ground, parallel to each other. Let's start with cat, flexions and extensions. Inhale, drop your belly, look up. Lift your pelvis up, your sacrum. And as you exhale, draw your navel in, arch the spine. Follow your own breath. Inhale when you are ready and look up. Exhale down. Couple of times, allowing your breath to guide you in your own pace. Flexions and extensions of your spine. Keep going. And the last one, last arch. Come back to neutral. And from here, let's walk to one side because we haven't done any side stretch really yet while sitting. So walk with your palms to one side to open that chest, that side of your torso more. Taking a couple of deep breaths, feeling that stretch from your hip. Directing your breath there. And then walking to the opposite direction. Staying here for a few moments. I'm quite enjoying I have a microphone today, so I don't have to shout to the computer. I can just maintain a rather calm voice. Come back to the center when you feel ready, and let's move into tiger pose, which we've done a couple of times already. Here you kick back with one leg. Let's start with right leg, and you look up, demonstrating. And then slowly bring that knee towards your forehead. 5 times. Don't worry if you can't touch your forehead with your knee. Just do your best. So again, you have to arch your spine as you flex. Remember to not to open your hip, but just kick back with that leg. It can stay bent all the way. As I said, 5 times. So on the 6th time, let's extend that leg, but then let's take it to the side. So let's start with maybe with the bent knee. It's a bit easier. Thigh vertical to the other leg, parallel to the floor. Great, that's easy option. Or stronger option, extend that leg so that whole leg is parallel to the floor. Strong core. Press through your palms. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Good. One more breath. Lift higher and release. Shake back. And swap your legs. Tiger on the other side. Inhale, rise with the left leg. And then touch the forehead. Obviously, as you inhale and lift that leg up, you also look up. Five times on this side as well. And then we'll go 6th time. to the side. Two options here, knee bend to the side or straight leg, parallel leg in one line with your hip. Strong pose, strong breathing. Inhale into your core, lift higher, don't lose that stretch, don't lose the alignment. Last deep breath and shake. Good, powerful pose. Okay, grab a drink if you like. We'll go into more advanced poses. We will start with dog, downward dog. You might want to shake your wrists. And to go into dog, you will have to move onto all fours. However, you will have to also tuck your toes under. Then perhaps walk with those palms a bit away from your body and a bit wider. They don't have to be exactly under your shoulders, whichever feels more comfortable, more natural. And when you are ready, leave those knees off the mat. Press through your palms so that your back and your arms are in one line. And bring your chest towards your thighs. Chest or belly, touching the thighs. Heels are up. And you can even increase the angle there. So your heels are really away from the floor, stretching your toes. Keep pressing through your palms. Arms and back in one line. When you are ready, start straightening those legs so you have inverted V shape. Good. And now bring one heel down at a time, walking on spot, getting used to this posture. Keep pressing through your palms. You can spread your fingers wide to protect your wrists. Good. When you are ready, both heels up, inhale, and both heels down. Stay in the pose, downward dog. Keep pressing through your palms, opening your shoulders, and bringing both heels down. Feet are hip distance apart. If you look towards your feet, you might be able to even take your heels out a bit. That will make the stretch a bit harder. That's good. Good. Last deep breath. Draw your navel in. And come down onto your knees and rest in child. Palms by your feet to let your wrists rest. Stay here for a few moments, resting. We will come back to downward dog, but we'll move into three-leg dog with the hip opener. So gather your energy, prepare strength in your arms, and then walk your palms away from your body. Reach as far as you can, a bit wider this time than in cat, for example. And then come back onto all fours, tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift your knees off the mat, bring your chest belly towards your knees. Straighten your legs, and then bring both heels down. You can still walk on spot if it feels really tight, otherwise stay in this fairly static pose. Keep pressing through your palms, release your neck, maybe yeses and nos with your head to avoid any unnecessary tensions there. Draw your navel in, really try to lift your sitting bones up towards the sky. So it's not a press up, there is more weight on your legs than in a press up. And your arms and your back create one line. Staying with your breath. Maintaining that connection with the floor. Check where your heels are, whether they're touching the ground. Don't worry if you can't. You will get there one day. Okay, when you are ready, lift your right leg up and open that hip to the side. Bend your knee, right knee. Bring that right foot towards your buttocks. And drop that leg to the other side. So if it's your right leg, drop it to the left side. Look up under your right armpit. Keep strong with your arms, palms. Keep pressing down. Nothing changed. You only lifted your leg and opened the hip. Let the gravity do the work. Inhaling into your right hip. Maybe trying to point towards the ceiling with your right knee. I know it's not possible, but that's the direction you are going into. Good, and release, count down. If it was really hard for you, feel free to bring knees down and shake your wrists. Otherwise, stay in the dog and move immediately into the other side, lifting your left leg up. Others will take more time to get there. Bring that left foot towards your buttocks and drop to the right side. Let gravity open your hip. Keep pushing through your palms, stay with your breath. Strong arms, strong right leg, good connection with the ground. Perhaps trying to point with that knee towards the sky. And the last breath, stay there. And as you exhale, start coming out. Rest in child with palms by your feet. Take a few deep breaths there. Good. From here we'll move to standing now in stages and very slowly. So when you are ready, extend those arms in front of you. Move on to all fours. Unfold your downward dog again, but walk or hop your feet towards your palms. So you end up in a forward bend. Feet hip distance apart for a better balance. Knees can stay bent, it's fine. Let's start with nice ragdoll shakes here. So going from side to side, shaking off that upper body. If your arms are really long or you are very flexible, you can clasp your elbows to help with that shoulder opener here. Shake your head, yes and no, with your head. Letting all the tensions from your upper body sink into the ground. Good. And release your arms. Perhaps you can reach towards your big toes. If so, grab your big toes. If not, hold your ankles or shins. Some of you, like myself, might even be able to step on your palms. Forward bend, inhale, look up, exhale, deepen your stretch. Same way we've done it while sitting. Splay your elbows out. Try to bring your face towards your legs as well as the chest. Staying here for a few breaths. Nice forward bend, really stretching that spine. Sacrum reaching towards the sky. Straight legs, but if you really struggle, keep them bent. Relaxed neck. And from here we'll rise up very slowly, taking a couple of breaths, stacking your vertebrae on top of each other, one at a time, as if they're domino blocks. Taking lots of time, keeping your arms relaxed, head, neck relaxed, head comes up last. Okay, let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhaling down. A few times. If you want to have a little bit of balance, take those heels off the mat. And bring them down as you bring your palms down. So synchronize the movements. Your arms are synchronized with your heels. So both are touching the thighs and floor when you end your exhale. Nice. Okay, so that was quite nice, slow-paced, gentle warm-up. Now let's bring some energy into it. So take your legs a bit wider, just a little bit wider than your hips. We'll do a position called skier. It's quite dynamic. As you inhale on soft legs, take your arms up, and as you exhale, bend forward. Soft knees, and then take that momentum, make that momentum going so that you can rise up on the inhale. Exhale, bending forward, inhale, rise up. Nice posture. Release your tensions as you exhale. Imagine you are skiing down the mountain. Good, and stay in the forward bend. Maybe bring those feet a bit closer again so they're hip distance apart. And now bring your palms on your hips and make sure your back is straight and vertical to your legs. So your upper body is parallel to the floor. You can use one of your palms to scan your spine to check if it's really parallel. Might be hard if you don't have a camera and yourself on the screen. Tuck your chin in. So that's an easy option. Stage 2, take your arms over your head and now maintain a nice parallel position of your upper body to the floor. Improve the toes of your feet, inner arch, strong legs, strong core. Nice back strengthener. Keep breathing. You will benefit much more from the advanced stage with arms over your head, but don't worry if it's too much. Last deep breath in, exhale, release in a forward bend. Stay here for a few moments. And now straighten those legs. Place your left palm on the outside of the right ankle and look up. Look over the right shoulder. Harder option, extend that right arm towards the sky. So nice side twist in a forward bend. Taking that right shoulder away from your face by stretching through your fingers. So as you stretch through your right fingers, the arm is taking that shoulder away from you. Looking up, stretching the eye muscles. Push against that right leg to go deeper. Hopefully your neck is happy. If not, don't force yourself. Good. And the other side. So press the right palm against the left leg. Choose the position of your palm. You can even place it on your hip or extend towards the sky. Nice deep breath. Strong, straight legs. If your legs are straight, you will have a nice hip alignment. It doesn't have to be your ankle if you don't have this flexibility. You can press against your shin or even knee. Looking towards your left thumb, taking that shoulder away from you. Deepening the twist by pressing against left leg. Good, and release. And when you are ready, slowly come all the way up to standing. Remember, the head comes up last. Deep breaths. We don't want you to feel dizzy. Now, place one foot behind the other. So right behind the other. Shins, calves, lower legs pressing against each other. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend forward. It's a bit of balancing pose for some of you. Notice how different this stretch is when feet swap their position. So you have left foot on the right and the opposite with the other foot. Opening the back of your knees, bringing your chest towards your legs. Now I invite you to reach the floor with your palms. Maybe you will have to bend your knees to get there. You will have a better balance for the next pose if you can reach the floor. Get your block ready. If you have a block, make it sure it's in front of you. When you are ready, bend both legs and extend the the leg that is behind you. The back leg, extend it back. So it's nice and parallel to the floor. Adjust your palms. Stay here, or let's move into half moon pose. In half moon pose, you open that hip by pointing your toes of the leg that you raised up. You're pointing them towards the ceiling. Obviously, I don't expect you to do it, but that's the direction you are going in. Again, stay here or rise with the arm of the same side your back leg is up. So if it's your right leg up, it's right arm up. And the right toes are pointing up. Or the left side if you started with the left side. The block is handy here if you are not very flexible. It doesn't have to be a block, you can always use books if you like. Pressing with that bottom palm, having it a bit lifted up on the support. Keep looking towards the floor. It's a balancing pose, challenging. Or if you are comfortable, look up. Just don't fall, just stay up. Keep lifting that back leg up. Twisting it so that the toes are pointing towards the sky. Good, release. And shake if you have to, rise up. We'll do the other side. So remember which leg was at the back last time. Now it will be in front. So again, your feet are swapped. The right leg is on the left on the right, but the order of feet changed, so one is more in front than the other. Good. Inhale, rise up, arms over your head. Exhale, bend forward. Try to bring your palms down. Don't worry if you can't. You can always rest them on your knee. And opening the backs of your knees. Good. Try to keep your legs straight to benefit from the stretch. And make sure you bend from your hips, not from your waist. So your back is quite straight here. If you have a block, that's even better. Then you can really adjust how deep you go with nice support of your palms in front of you. And prepare to lift the back leg up behind you. So stabilize the other foot. And then rise with that other leg up. Adjust your palms so you are nice and balanced. And try to keep that leg parallel to the ground. You can look and check if that's parallel. Toes pointing down. That's the stage 1. Stage 2, you can try to point those toes, the toes of the back leg up towards the sky. Feel that twist. And another option for you, rise with the arm on the same side as your leg, bringing towards your hip or stretch towards the sky. Half moon pose. Keep looking down if you struggle with balance. Some of you might be able to look up. Blocks are handy if you can't reach the mat with the straight leg. And that leg you are standing on is also strong. You can improve the arch to maintain better balance. Keep lifting that back leg up. Strong pose, keep breathing. Last deep breath in, lift higher and release. And shake if you have to, rise up. So we've done that one. We are going to do full Indian squat today, which will be strong on your thighs. You have to basically have your legs a bit wider than usual with your feet pointing out. There might be even 60 or maybe even 45 degrees angle on your feet. Sit here in your hips straight back, push your pelvis forward and extend your arms in front of you. Arms are parallel to the floor. Strong pose, strong breathing. Maybe sink lower if you want to work on your thighs more. Similar to goddess pose, we'll move into it in a minute. Arms parallel to the floor. Sinking lower. Opening your hips at the same time. Splaying those knees out. Good. And release and shake. Well done. Strong pose. And goddess pose, very similar. Maybe legs a bit wider. Again, feet are pointing out. In this pose, you can start with your palms on your hips, lifting one heel up at the time. So this one is also strong on your thighs, but here you also work on your lower legs. So as you inhale and exhale, work on one foot at the time, lifting the heel. And stay here, or some of you will lift both heels up at the same time. Choose your option. One at the time or both up. Sinking lower, keeping your back straight. Nice. And release and shake. Good. Okay, let's do a little bit of balancing. Will be a nice break from intense poses. Inhale through the left leg and hug your right knee in front of you. Use both palms, maybe interlace the fingers to hug the right knee. Bringing it by your chest. Finding your balance, finding your gazing point on the floor. Chest open, roll your shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Long neck, shoulders away from your ears. Extend your spine through the crown of your head. That's stage one. Stay here or grab this knee with only your right palm and take it to the side. Left palm on your left hip for balance, for support. So strong left leg, nice arch, straight that leg as well. And the one on your right is bent, opening the hip. Good. Come back to the center. Squeeze that knee again with both palms. Stay here or grab the big toe with your right palm. Find your balance. Release the left palm. It can come back onto your hip. And if you want, you can stretch that leg in front of you. Check if you can go that far. Don't worry if you can't. You can always, might be it's hard to use strap right now, but maybe try to hold your shin. But if your strap is handy, feel free to use it. And if you can't hold the stretch for too long, you can keep bending and straightening as we did in the beginning while sitting. If you use strap, might be a bit tricky with balance, but you will get there eventually. Okay, that's not the end. There's one more option for those of you who are willing to try. Stay with that leg in front of you without holding the toe. So palms on hips, just keep lifting that leg up. Straight leg, parallel to the floor. Lift a bit higher and release, shake. If you've ever done Ashtanga yoga, that's a very common sequence there. Okay, prepare to go to the other side. So rise through the right leg, improve the toes, improve the inner arch, inhale through the right leg, hug the left knee by your chest. Improve your position, open your chest, take your shoulders away from your ears, extend through the crown of your head. At the same time, you can imagine you are stretching your spine through your sacrum, through your tailbone down. Perhaps growing through your right foot down into the ground with a nice stable root. Hugging this knee a bit more. And then choosing your options, staying where you are or taking this leg to the side, holding the knee and the right hip. Nice. Nice posture. Relaxed shoulders. Don't hide your neck in your shoulders. Holding the knee. Good. Few more moments. Come back to the center, hug that leg, stay here or reach towards your left big toe with your left palm. Finding your support, finding your balance, and perhaps stretching that leg in front of you a few times to start with, or staying in the stretch straight away if you are that strong and flexible. Maintain your spine awareness. Don't bend too much. Staying in the stretch if you like. Some of you are using the strap. Great. Good. And now release your strap or palms. Stay with that leg up. Stronger, higher, parallel to the floor. Strong back leg. 2 more breaths. You can do it, even if you are shaking. Lift higher and release. Shake both legs. We'll now go into more steady postures. Maybe less intense for now, but still focus on the breath. We'll start with mountain pose. So bring your feet together. Spread your toes nice and wide. Again, some of you might have to use the fingers to do that. Improve the inner arches. Now in mountain pose, we squeeze the buttocks, we squeeze the thighs, but there's also a movement, these thighs try to go outside. You are almost like opening your thighs out, but you are nice and straight. Open your chest, roll your shoulders back, maybe a few times if you feel there's some tension there. Good. And splay your arms out a bit, palms facing out. I hope you can see me, but it's an easy posture really. There's not much going on, at least visually, but strong buttocks, really squeezed bum, strong thighs, strong core, and this outward movement of your thighs and opening the shoulders and chest makes it a quite intense pose. More intense than it seems from just looking at it. Maintain your entire body awareness, expanding your spine in both directions really, from your head, crown of your head up and down through your tailbone. Nice straight back. If you want, you can bring your palms into prayer, it doesn't really matter. Some of you might even prefer to bring palms into prayer behind you to have a nice extra stretch on your chest. If that's you, if you choose your palms together behind you, then make sure your forearms create more or less one line and your elbows are nice and wide. And again, don't curve your lower back too much. My impression is the tendency is to keep your spine overly curved rather than overly straight. Something in between is ideal. You need that curve, but not excessive one. The curve in your lower back. Good, and release. Keep your feet together. Now interlace your fingers, but pointing toes pointing. Not sure if you can see from there. And now take those arms over your head and take a nice deep breath in. Maybe I'll demonstrate first. As you exhale, you will bend your knees and bend forward a bit. It will be a dynamic movement, exhaling each time you go down. So prepare, take a nice deep breath in. Letting go of tensions as you gently bend forward and really sink into your hips, bending those knees. Looking down towards your feet. See your your toes. Two more times. And stay in the forward bend. Relax. Play your legs nice and wide. Ragdoll shakes if you like. Taking some extra breath. Good. Maybe freestyle movements. Good. We are moving now into side angle pose. To get there, let's take one leg forward. And then we can take the other leg down. If you are new to yoga, feel free to rest that back knee down, foot flat. Otherwise, stay with your leg up. Good. Now plant, if you choose obviously the advanced option, plant your heel down. So there is a nice maybe 60 degrees angle. Plant your left palm by the instep. Yeah, that's one option. I will show you a couple more, easier and harder. Here you can place your right palm on your right hip, opening that hip, looking up. You can extend that arm towards the sky. Now, easier option, if you really struggle here, place that palm on your knee or thigh or just elbow and then open. That's really much less intense and you will have the same benefit. Those of you who stayed with the palm by the foot, you have one more option. You can place that palm on the outside of your foot. That will be a bit stronger. You will need a bit more balance and strength in your thigh. In all those options, you keep your front knee bent, ideally just over your ankle. So it's a nice thigh strengthener at the same time. Plenty of options, showing you one of them. The easiest one would be with the palm on your hip and knee down, or with your forearm on the knee. Some of you will even take that arm over the right ear. So your arm and your right leg create one line. That should be possible in all those variations. Blocks are handy here if you place your palm on the outside of the foot. Good. Okay, come out, knee down, and let's rock here forward, backwards to release that front leg. Nice. Okay, while we are here, let's go to the other, to reversed angle pose. This time you will plant the right palm by the instep and you will look in the other direction, to your left. So choose your option, the easiest one with your knee down or rise. This time the back heel is up. It would be impossible to keep it down. And place your left palm on your thigh or hip or extend towards the sky. Some of you might prefer to rest the forearm down, but this time, surprisingly, it will be harder on the balance. Block comes handy. You can place it under your right palm if it's on the mat. And for those of you who are really ambitious today, let's give you a few more options. Place that right palm outside of the foot so that the shoulder is pressing against the knee from the outside. Or you can even float maybe with that right palm. Lots of options. One deep breath and come out. And again, rock forwards and backwards. Good, strong workout. Let's swap the legs. So take a few moments to adjust. I will rotate so you can see me well. So your right leg is in front of you. Place your right palm by the instep. Tuck your toes under, leave that back knee up and bring your heel down. Unless it's really intense, then stay with your knee down. Palm can go on your hip. The other palm stays on the ground, or if you want to make it easier, rest the forearm on the knee in front. Rise with the left palm towards the sky if you feel like it. Some of you might use a block. And more intense variation, place this block or palm outside of the foot. And that left arm can even come over your knee, your ear, your left ear, so that your arm is an extension of the rest of the body. It's particularly visible if you are with your forearm on the thigh. Then it creates a really nice line. You can finish here with chin mudra by touching your thumb and pointing finger. Last deep breath in, twist a bit more towards the sky, and then come out, palms down, and rock forwards and back. Okay, now revolted angle pose. Plant the left palm down, rise with your back knee down, knee up. This time heel stay up, and rotate to the right side. The right palm can go onto your hip, or you can extend it towards the sky. More advanced pose, bring it by your ear, rotating towards the sky. Feel that twist. Some of you might even prefer to place that palm outside of the foot. Only if you are really flexible. It's more important you do this pose correctly rather than not by being overly ambitious. Nice deep breaths. Legs strong, stretching through the back heel. Lifting that knee. Rotating towards the sky without changing your hips. Good. Last deep breath in. And release. And rock. Okay, let's move into plank. We haven't done vinyasas today, so let's do one vinyasa with extended plank. So palms are over your shoulders, spread your fingers nice and wide. When you are ready, lift both knees up. Stay in one line with your body. Nice core strengthener. Keep breathing. Few more breaths. And lower yourself down. You can bring knees first and then chest down if it's harder for you. And let's stay here in Sphinx. So bring your forearms in front of you so that your shoulders are just over your elbows. Open your chest, take your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your big toes together. Very good. Looking down or looking up to you. I personally prefer looking down, tucking the chin in, and making sure my neck is an extension of the spine. Good. So we stopped here for a moment in our vinyasa. Now let's tuck the toes under and come back to our cat or all fours. I promised a couple of poses for climbers today, not just for lower back. And that might be an interesting one for those of you who like inversions and want to improve on handstands one day. But it's an easy pose, don't worry, you can do it. I recommend you all, if you are not familiar with the crow pose, to bring a blanket or a pillow and place it in front of you just in case. I will show you crow pose very quickly now, but we will obviously get there together. Okay, so it's almost a handstand really, but a really easy one. So if you are there safe with some pillow or blanket in front of you and nothing around in case you fall over, place your palms down and draw a triangle in your mind, and your palms are at the base of that triangle. And if your head has to land somewhere, it will land on the top of that triangle. Hopefully your pillow is there. Now come closer with your feet. Now I'm very skinny, so what works for me is to keep my knees actually a bit outside of my elbows. So basically we'll do just one leg at a time, but I will show you. I'm bending my elbows and resting my inner thighs on those elbows. Most people, however, are able to rest those knees directly on the forearm, on the arm. I can't really do that because I'm just too skinny. So let's bend those arms a little bit. Let's rest those knees on those elbows or arms. And now stay here or lift one leg up at the time. So you see I have spiky knees, so I can't really do it. So instead I'm resting my inner thighs on the elbows. So one leg at a time, staying maybe for a few moments, finding your balance and strength. Some of you might try a full pose by lifting both legs at the same time. Choose your option. And if you're really tired and it's a bit too much for now, you can just rest in child pose. You always have that option. So legs are nice and wide, elbows gently bent, and your knees either on your arms or inner thighs on your elbows. Lifting one leg at a time or both. Just getting really used to that pose. Building the strength of your arms. Remember to spread your fingers wide. It will make your wrists stronger. Yes, have a bit of experimentation here. A few more moments. Classic rock climbers pose. Okay, release when you had enough. And we will sit down with knees bent for a boat pose. Take your time to get there. Stage one of the boat pose, hugging your thighs, lifting your legs up so your shins are parallel to the floor, finding your balance. So again, making sure there is nothing around you in case you lose your balance. Stage two, release your arms, maintaining the same acute angle between your upper and lower body. Good, let's stay here, stage one, stage two. And let's move into next ones later. 7 breaths. Don't lose your alignment. Make sure your chest stays open. Good. Last deep breath in. And rest, hugging your thighs, resting your chin on your knees. Okay, some of you will repeat stage 1 or stage 2. Some of you will go to the next phase with straight legs. However, we have to do a bit of preparation for it. First, grab your big toes and lift your feet off the mat. Find your balance. And then start extending those legs in front of you. Some of you might have to use a strap, or otherwise just hold your shins. Now you have socks, that might be a bit tricky, as socks are sliding. Good, that's a stage 3, both with support, straight legs. This support can be also at the back of your thighs or knees, doesn't have to be your feet. And stage 4, most advanced, no support at all, but legs stay straight. Acute angle here. I'm really not the best model right now. It could be even more acute angle, with legs lower and chest higher. But I just don't have enough strength to show you the ideal pose. Good, and bring your legs down, arms up, staff pose, or just hug your knees if you are in a stage 2. Bring your palms down. Point your toes. Inhale, lift your hips and open the front of your body. Drop your head if you like. If inverted plank is too strong, you can always bend your knees and just lift your body without your lower legs. Otherwise, stay in the inverted plank. Strong pose, strong breathing. Pushing your hips away. Dropping your head if you like. Last deep breath in, lift higher. And come down and hug your thighs. Moving to cross-leg sitting. And now clasp your elbows behind you. I will rotate so you can see me. Clasping my elbows behind me, with shoulders away from the ears as always. Nice long neck. And bending forwards. Checking how far can you go, without losing balance, of course. Gentle stretch. But if you go deeper and deeper, you will eventually notice a really nice stretch on your thighs. It might be actually quite pleasant. Nice. And releasing. Now going to the right side. Bending forward. Check how far can you go. We've done it earlier, but with palms on the mat. Now we have our arms clasped behind. So it's a slightly different pose, but nicely stretching and relaxing. And let's go to the other side now. Don't worry about your sitting bones if they lose the contact with the ground. It's gentle forward bend. Yeah, so working out the front of your body, which will come handy as we move now into laying prone, so on your bellies. And we'll be lifting the front of our body. So prepare by touching your big toes together and palms just under your shoulders. So it's not a Sphinx pose, just your palms are on the mat, not your forearms. Nice and long neck. As you inhale, rise up with your elbows ideally to the sides. Unless you are quite weak in your arms, then it's fine to splay them out. But ideally they are by your rib cage. Check how much can you go without overextending on your lower back. Nice and long neck, shoulders away from your ears, chest open. Lifting your upper body. Staying here for a few breaths. Without pinching on your lower back, keep your big toes together. And eventually lowering down. However, halfway through, try to release your palms and then lower yourself down without palm support. And rest. Good. Let's try again, this time with palms under your chin. And just using the strength of your back, lift yourself up. And check how far can you go. Obviously there will be a big difference between with support and without. Okay, and now let's look back to our feet. You can place your palms under your chin if you like. Bend your knees and we'll lift one knee at a time. So as you inhale, lift right leg up, exhale, bring it down. And you can look or you can just rest your chin down on the mat, up to you. Obviously, as you rest your chin down, you can probably lift that leg a bit higher. But don't worry, don't have to go too far, just warming up. One leg at a time. Good. Finish on the left leg. Probably you know already where we go next. We're gonna hold the ankles with our palms. And we can do 2, maybe even 3 things here. Let's start with the easiest one. Allow your legs to pull your arms back to open your chest. Stay there for a few moments without holding your breath. So keep breathing. You can look down for a nice long neck. Tuck your chin in. I personally find it very pleasant when my neck and my spine create one line. Good, and rest down. Release your legs. Okay, come back to where you were, holding your ankles. This time only pulling your legs. So not much going on without lifting your upper body, just pulling your legs towards the front of your body. So it's a really nice stretch on the front of your thighs. Good. And prepare mentally first to lift both upper body and legs up. And then take a nice deep breath in and just go there. Lifting legs and upper body up. It's okay to splay your knees out at this point, if that feels easier. Lifting higher, higher, higher. Maybe even rocking forwards, backwards, like a boat. And rest. Okay, and now rise onto your forearms. Another posture which rock climbers will appreciate, but I think everyone will feel the benefit. Take one knee towards the front. It will be a nice gentle hip opener. So there's basically 90 degrees angle. Instep down to the floor. Good. And opening that hip. So here basically the floor is pushing, almost pushing, it's the impression you get, pushing that knee away to open the hip. You can look in front of you, keeping nice posture. Trying to sync with that right hip down. Obviously you can't because there is a floor in the way, but just working towards the floor will be really helpful. So nice gentle hip opener. Good. And release. Let's switch legs. So bend that leg, bring it to the side. Almost as if you are in the tiger pose. You remember earlier we were on all fours, taking one leg at the time to the side. It's very similar, just you are laying down this time. Good. Again, now trying to bring that hip down, which will be left hip on the left leg. Looking down in front of you. Nice. And to come out, we will move into wide knee child. So spread both legs nice and wide, but rather straight. Rock your hips from side to side, insteps to the floor. Bring your feet together. Push with your palms and bring your buttocks to heels. Wide knee child, rest. Good, and preparing to laying down for a short relaxation to finish off. We've done our inversion earlier while trying the crow pose. So make yourself comfortable on the mat. Plenty of options as usual. If you like hip openers, then bring your feet together so that your legs create a diamond shape. Some of you, those who love chest openers, bring a blanket, pillow, bolster or mat to the bottom of your spine so that as you lay down, you can lay down on it, opening your chest, bringing your shoulders down. And you can do this both with your feet together, knees bent, or legs nice and wide apart, up to you. You can also lay down flat with your arms slightly away from your body, legs wider than hip distance apart. Looking to your right and left, a few times rolling your head and neck from side to side. Eventually closing your eyes, making yourself comfortable, taking a couple of deep breaths, exhaling, unusual, through your mouth. So allow yourself to make a sound, sinking into your relaxation as you exhale through your mouth. Good, and allowing yourself to be as you are. Allowing your body to rest after all the hard work you've done today. Stretching and squeezing your body in all directions. You will feel it in the upcoming days, and hopefully it will create more space for your lungs. Very rarely we use our lungs its full capacity when we breathe. But with those extra exercises, we make it much easier. Deep breaths, sinking into the floor. Allowing your head to be heavy on the mat. Shoulders, arms, heavy and impossible to lift up. Same with your hips and legs. Heavy on the ground. While your lower back stays with a nice connection with the floor or your blanket, whatever it is there. accepting an arch if there is one. Everyone has a slightly different back. And if you struggle with any lower back issues in your life, think about mountain pose. And whenever you stand for extended period of times, maybe queuing somewhere, just stand in a mountain pose, pushing your pelvis forward. Let's try to remember that to protect our lower back whenever we can. Deepening the breath. And perhaps even allowing your breath to breathe you. Letting go of your thoughts. Just staying present with any sensations you are aware of at the moment. It could be a feeling, a physical sensation, a sound, inside or outside. With a sense of gratitude. It could be towards yourself or others who support you. Maybe to the entire world and life or universe. Just feeling grateful for whatever it is you can be grateful for. And becoming aware of our bodies again, moving gently our toes and fingers, taking your arms over your head for a full body stretch. If you have a blanket under your back or something like that, just take it out now. So you have a nice flat back on the mat. Stretch, stretch, stretch through your toes and fingers. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees and rock yourself from side to side. And then roll onto your right side. Perhaps use your right arm for support. Nice restorative pose. Checking how you feel. And what sensations from this practice you want to take with you. We don't have to practice yoga just on the mat, but also in our daily life. By bringing your posture or breath awareness, or just being aware of your attitude, your mindset. And when you are ready, push yourself through that left palm into cross-leg seating. Taking your arms over your head, elbows gently bent, prana mudra. Closing your eyes, asking yourself what this pose may symbolize for you. And then bringing your palms together at the top of your head, to your forehead, your throat, and your heart, and we'll chant Om together. Take a nice deep breath in and join me when you are ready. And bending forward. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your presence, your practice. Hopefully you are doing well through the lockdown, and if not, well, I hope the yoga brought a bit of balance to your life. You can now unmute yourself if there is anything you would like to say.